What's up, guys? This is Brave, and I'm back with another review of The Chi. This is season 4, episode 10, and it's actually the season finale. So let's go ahead and get into it. This episode was titled A Raisin in the Sun, and I'm just going to go person by person, as well as what I thought about them overall this entire season. So you guys get ready, because I'm probably going to go in on just about everybody. Alright, you guys, now let's go ahead and start with Jada. So we actually see Jada, she gets a phone call from her doctor, and her doctor tells her something. We do not hear what the doctor says, but according to Jada, when she gets off the phone, it was actually good news that, she's doing well with chemo. She may not need another treatment, but basically we'll see how her progress goes. Emmett hears this news, and he's automatically thinking that her cancer is in remission. That is basically what happened, because he decided to throw her a party. My only thing was, I wanted to see Jada ring that bell. You guys know that bell that they have when people are cancer free, and they ring the bell when like chemo and everything is over. That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to know for sure that Jada's cancer is gone, because something is telling me that maybe there's a slight chance that she just said that, just to calm Emmett's nerves. But the doctor could have told her, oh, you only have this amount of time to live. Like, I don't know. We'll see what happens in season 5, I guess. So let's go ahead and talk about this party, because honestly, there's only one other thing I want to say about Jada. Now, she sat up there and said, I want to thank these 3 men in my life. She thanked Darnell, she thanked her son Emmett, and she also thanked Swade. And I am all here for that. However, I'm like, but girl, why didn't you thank Dre, considering her whole damn marriage over there is falling apart, partially because of you and your cancer? But you know what? I digress. One thing that I will say about Jada overall this season, I feel like she continues to get the short end of the stick when it comes to this show. She's always going through some type of struggle. She can't get a man, all these things. I mean, hell, they even had her dating Ronnie at one point. She finally dates Swade, and I'm just like, okay, cool. And then out of nowhere, we didn't see Swade for like 4 or 5 episodes. I'm like, where is Swade at? I just feel like this season they just kept putting characters on 1 minute, and then we didn't see them again for like 5 episodes. It's very strange. Alright, now let's go ahead and talk about Emmett and Tiff. The reason why I'm putting them together is because honestly, Emmett had nothing to do this entire episode. Like, he threw his mom the party, and then we saw him and Tiff have a conversation that needed to happen maybe 2 episodes ago. So basically, she told Emmett that, oh, well, I finally decided that I'm going to go ahead and choose my marriage. I want to, close things up, right? That is what Tiff told Emmett, and he was happy about that, because now he thinks that he's going to get his wife fully. However, that's not exactly how this went down, because earlier in the episode, we saw Tiff meet up with Dante, and she literally said, what do you think about me leaving Emmett, to be with you? And he's like, no, girl, I'm just your little side piece. He's boyfriend number 2, in the words of Pleasure P. And that kind of put things into perspective for her to go ahead and be back with Emmett. Here's my whole thing about Tiff and Emmett. Do I think that their marriage is worth anything? No. I don't think that they need to be married. I feel like they have aged this couple, considering they should only be about 20, 21 years old. That's how old Tiff and Emmett should be. They have them moving like as if they like 40 years old, and they're not. As far as Emmett goes, Emmett didn't really bother me this season. My problem was the fact that he has no friends that he can talk to his issues about with besides Keisha. Why was he getting advice from children? Why was he telling his business to Trig when him and Trig have never spoke to each other previously? Yeah, that's all I got for Emmett. Tiff, oh my gosh. At the end of the episode, we actually saw Tiff No, actually, I'm gonna rewind. At Jada's party, Iman was there, right? And he's basically flirting with her. And at the end of the episode, we see her in bed with Emmett. She goes to the bathroom, puts some lip gloss on, and then heads out the door. I'm like, girl, so you mean to tell me you gonna go be out with this dude? What time you coming back home? Because if Emmett rolls over and wakes up, you're MIA. Also, you just gonna leave your child there too? What kind of unfit parenting does Tiff have going on? Also, I just feel like Tiff's character, she's all over the place unnecessarily. For example, I don't understand why we kept seeing her be so active in this weed business when she's not even the cook. We completely eliminated Dom like halfway through the season, even though technically she was pretty much needed for all like the events that they were supposed to be doing. I would have liked to see more of her and Darnell, but that's not what we got this season. Lala clearly must have had other things to do because baby girl dipped out. Now, do I think that Tiff will, eventually come back around to Emmett? No. I think that Emmett is going to find out, and then that's going to be over. That's going to be a done situation. What do I think about Tiff's character? I feel like she's too young to be tied down to Emmett, to be honest with you. This girl's 21 years old. She doesn't even know who she is yet. The only thing she knows is that she's Emmett's wife and that she has a child. She has no idea who she is. So, I think that she should definitely explore her options. However, get a divorce first, sweetheart. Let's go ahead and move on. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about Keisha. There was not much with Keisha this last episode either. The only thing that happened was that she actually decided to be the girlfriend to Christian. I like Christian. I don't see a problem with him. I am absolutely a fan of him at this point because he is very gentle with Keisha and he handles her with care. Now, overall, throughout this season, the moments that I did like of Keisha was when her and Kevin would talk to each other. I really did enjoy that. Her decision to keep that baby, absolutely not. I don't even think that she should have been giving Octavia milk, to be honest with you. I feel like that was too close for comfort. This should have been you take this baby, sorry, but he gonna have to be on Similac. He gonna have to be on Enfamil because I'm not about to sit up here and see you be a mom to my baby. Because clearly, Keisha has no guidance because no one has told her that she can be more than a mom. Unfortunately, she did not need to keep her rapist baby. And it's crazy to me how you have Dre, who's supposed to be a counselor. She has not given Keisha any guidance on how to move forward into going to college. Should she start at a 4-year college? I'm pretty sure there's a school in Chicago that'll take her. Or should she, take a few classes at community college? Dre has told this girl nothing. And that blows my mind. I love the scene when she went to go see Octavia, and Octavia is telling her, like, hey, what do you want to do besides be a mom? Because you had dreams and aspirations before you had this baby. And the fact that Octavia put her pride to the side, because I'm pretty sure her feelings were very hurt by the fact that Keisha took her baby back. She still said, hey, when you get your schedule situated, come by my office. We can go over some applications. Octavia has been more of a mother to Keisha than Nina has for the 4 seasons that we've seen her. For the 4 seasons that we have seen Keisha, Octavia has been more of a mother to her within this last season. That speaks volumes, okay? Alright, so let's go ahead and move on to Kevin because he's waking up and Linnea's trying to get all her stuff together. Like, she's trying to dip on out of his house. And he's like, let me walk you downstairs and all this stuff. And she's like, no, I ain't your ex-girl. I don't need nobody coddling me, all this stuff. And clearly it's a defense mechanism that Linnea has. I have no idea how much trauma this girl has been through. But clearly she's been through a lot. So when they get downstairs, Dre catches them. She's like, Linnea, what are you doing here? Come to find out, she slept in the same room as Kevin. My only issue with this scene is that it was never clarified that nothing happened between the two. Because even later on in the episode, once Lene decides to stay there, Dre is like, well, no, she can't stay, in your room, Kevin, blah, blah, blah. We know what happened last time. And I feel like they kind of insinuated that something happened between the two of them, and it didn't. And I don't like that, because I hate the fact that black girls are always insinuating that they were being fast and they hooked up with somebody when they really didn't. I just didn't like that. I feel like there should have been a definite clarification that nothing happened between her and Kevin. So, Kevin, he is feeling this girl Lene. The more that she pushes him away, the more that he likes her. So, later on, we do see Lene have a conversation with Dre, and we actually got some background information on Dre. And come to find out, Dre's parents actually passed away, and she went to go live with her grandparents. Now, her grandparents did not care for the way she dressed, the way she talked, nothing about her. So they ended up putting her out. So she sees herself in Lene. And now, she's offering Lene to come move in with them. So, Lene, she goes and tells Kevin this. And Kevin is like, well, yeah, now you can be like my live-in girlfriend. And she's like, boy, I don't even like you like that. I definitely think that she likes Kevin, but she just won't allow herself to like Kevin. Like, his little quirky charm is slowly but surely working on her. So, overall this season, because I want to go further into Dre and Nina in a minute, so far, I will say, Kevin has been through a whole lot this season. And I feel like nobody has actually paid attention to Kevin this whole time. This boy has been through trauma after trauma after trauma. He still doesn't have a therapist. I'm not understanding why Nina and Dre are not paying attention to him. I mean, he's doing so much better now, and I do think that Lene will be a great influence on him. But I'm just saying, overall this season, I feel like as parents, they completely neglected Kevin and just saw him as, well, he needs to go ahead and get over it. He needs to try to get back into this school. Listen, his best friend took his girlfriend. They had a fist fight, and he got kicked out of school. Like, Kevin been through a lot, considering this was his first heartbreak. And Nina, she had no support for him. I just hope moving forward that by next season, Kevin is good. Like, Kevin is having the time of his life. And, I just want to see Kevin thrive. Oh, also, I forgot. It bothers me that they act like Jake was the only person who went through something when the whole police brutality thing happened. Because Kevin had to be on the ground as well. It happened to both of them. The only difference is that Jake got hands put on him versus what Kevin got. That's the only difference. But let's go ahead and move on. Dre brings it up to Nina that she wants Lene to move in. And Nina is opposed to it because she's like, girl, we have enough drama going on in our household. We can't even take care of the kids that we already have. And Dre's like, listen, I see myself in this I see myself in this girl, and I want her to move in. So by the end of the episode, we do see that Lene is going to move in. That's cool or whatever, but I hate the fact that we're going to use this teenager moving in as a reason why they're fixing their relationship. I'll call BS on that. And I feel like their drama is still going to be spilling out, even though this little girl's in their household. Overall this season, for Nina and Dre, I still give them an F. Well, for sure, Nina gets an F. Dre gets a D-. Because even though she was there for her best friend, Jada, she should have told her wife, hey, this is what's happening. Because that could have solved a lot of the confusion. Also, I do like that she's trying to be there for Lene, but don't use that as an excuse to forgive your wife and pretend like everything is good because you have a guest in your house. let's not do that. All right, let's go ahead and move on. So, let's go ahead and talk about Trig, Shad, and Imani first. And then we'll go into the whole Doodah situation. So, I find it interesting that Trig had to call Shad to come help him and bail him out, or whatever he had Shad do, come pick him up from the scene where Jim's daddy got beat up. I'm just like, why aren't you calling Imani? I find it interesting that you kick Shad to the curb, but when you in trouble, that's who you decide to call. Interesting. So, later on, we do see that Shad comes over to the house, and he's apologizing to Imani. Here's my only issue with that apology. I'm not understanding why Imani wanted him to, like, beg and plead to be back in her good graces, when technically Shad did not do anything to Imani directly. Besides the fact when he jerked back when she was trying to tie his tie, that's it. And he did not say a word. He did not call her out her name. He did not do any of those things. So that is the part that's really blowing my mind as to why Imani is so entitled to getting an apology from Shad. Like, you would think that he called her out her name or something. And I'm just like, girl, he jerked back because he didn't want you to touch him. I mean, I feel like he would have done the same if, you know, Shad had a girlfriend who wasn't trans. Like, girl, you dating my mans. Don't even come over here with that, because we're not trying to cross any boundaries. Yeah. But I feel like Imani was so upset that he clocked the fact that she was trans. I'm like, but he technically did not do anything to you. Like, he didn't put hands on you. He didn't threaten you. But whatever. So, later on, we do see a scene where, Shad is talking about this one guy that they grew up with and how he, like, owed him some money or something. But come to find out, oh boy actually died. And then we see, like, this, you know, great acting scene where, I'm about to say Jason, because that's his real name. Shad is talking about how this guy was the first person to really, like, care about him and give him things, and he didn't have to pay it back or whatever. I mean, honestly, I did enjoy the scene. It was some great acting in it, and I'm just like, why didn't we keep Shad on this entire season? Because I feel like his character could have been utilized for a lot of things, but that's not what they decided to do. Later on in the episode, Shad and Imani, they are walking down the alley, and this guy, like, bumps into Imani on purpose, and Shad checks the dude. Now, you guys, let me know if I'm crazy or not, but is that not the same boy who killed Ronnie? I feel like that is the same boy. So I was kind of nervous, because I'm like, wait, is he gonna, like, pull out a gun on him? Like, what's happening right now? But he didn't. I do feel like there may be a little bit of revenge coming, but we shall see in season 5. Overall, what do I think about Imani and Shad? I'm going to talk about them, and then I have more to go with Trig. I think we could have utilized Shad a lot more this season. His character could have been developed a lot more, and it would have been great to see Trig have someone else to talk to, because at one point the only person who he was talking to was Doodah, as if him and Doodah was besties, and that ain't never happened. If anything, Doodah kept letting Trig know that he was in charge, and Trig wasn't running nothing. So I just always thought that was so interesting. Overall, though, Shad's character did not bother me. As far as Imani, though, here's my thing. I hate that the writers wrote it to where she went to that trap house and she had no plan on what to do with those girls. I love the idea that they wanted to give the girls the house, but I'm just like, okay, and in what capacity? Like, was Imani going to be like the house mom over there? Like, what's going on in that house? I just want to know, like, are the girls getting along? What's happening? Also, I thought that Nook was going to come back. Am I the only one who is waiting for the other shoe to drop? I feel like Nook is going to come back with a vengeance on, not Tracy, Imani and Trig, because they kicked him out of his house. And like, when you think about it, Nook was not playing no games with these people. Like, he was like a hard street dude. So I'm shocked that he just up and left because dude, I said so. I don't know. I feel like that's not the end of Nook that we are going to see. But yeah, overall, that's what I thought about those characters this season. Let's go ahead and move on to Trig, Duda, and I guess a little bit of Tracy. Oh, and actually a little bit of Jake and Gemma too. Let me get through them first. Jake and Gemma. So Jake, he is holding her or whatever because they're at a hotel, and she's like, oh my gosh, I need to get home, before my dad wakes up. He's like, no, don't worry about that. Just come, have breakfast with me and my people, whatever. So they go back to Jake's house. And Imani is like, well, what did y'all get into, after the spring fling? And they're like, yeah, we went to a hotel. I'm sorry, y'all went where? How old are y'all? Who paid for the hotel, please? Somebody please let me know who paid for the hotel. Like, it's so funny to me that, and this can be taken in real life or, just to show purposes, but it's so funny to me how we always tell teenagers what they should not be doing, as far as having sex and stuff, but we allow them to have hotel rooms. What you think is gonna happen? Okay. So, she ends up sitting down, and on the news she finds out that her dad is in the hospital. So now Gemma is trying to get to the bottom of what happened to my dad. And of course Jake is conflicted because his brother was involved. So he has to finally tell her, hey, this is what happened. Yeah, my brother was kind of involved, but not really. And Gemma's pissed off about it because, come to find out, they actually have cameras all around that house. So she was going to find out regardless. I'm just surprised that when they picked up his body, they didn't inspect the whole house. I'm so confused as to him being beat up like that. And considering he works at the mayor's office, I'm surprised that nobody walked around his whole entire property to make sure the person was not hiding out anywhere, and that they didn't check to see if there was footage there. That's very strange to me, but I digress. So Gemma is upset at first, but then she finally calms down, and because her dad is okay, she decides to give that video footage to Trig. Now, instead of Trig going directly to the police, oh wait, my bad, they don't have those anymore, but instead of him taking it to, some type of government official or something to really put the video out, he ends up going over to Duda's house to place a threat on him, talking about I want you to leave and never come back. I said, what in the Scar to Simba Lion King moment is this? It sounded just like when Scar told Simba, leave and never return. That's how it sounded to me, to be honest. I'm like, how the mayor just gonna dip out? How is the mayor going to just disappear? Okay. So, Tracy and Duda. First of all, we finally see Tracy after 5 episodes of being MIA. So she finally got funding for her little program, first of all. Secondly, she's still messing around with Duda. She asked him, does he know anything about what happened to Marcus? He's denying it. Next thing you know, she's talking about how she loved Duda. I'm like, girl, are you really in love with him? How? Just how, sweetheart? But anyways, what else happened? Oh, so like I said, Trig tried to tell Duda that, he's going to put this information out that he's the one who hurt Marcus, unless he leaves. So after that, we see Tracy have this conversation where she's talking about Trig ain't playing and she wants him to leave, and how, she's not worried about his reputation, but she's worried about her own. And I'm just like, girl, You wasn't worried about your reputation when you was over there sleeping with him. But okay, Tracy. So she ends up leaving out. And the next time that we see Duda, he is about to get in the car with Rosalind. And she's like, I can't keep saving you. And where are we going? He's like, we're going far, far away from here. And they just like drive off. Excuse me? Where she dropped this man off at, y'all? Where is Duda? How does the mayor just up and leave? The mayor of Chicago. Isn't Chicago like a major city? Are we forgetting this? How does he just up and leave? Okay. So, overall, let me just go ahead and go through these characters real quick. Jake and Gemma. Trash. I still find them to be trash. I don't understand why they're trying to sell us this love story as if it was not extremely messy. And it was. They're trying to pretend like Jake is such a great kid. When has Jake ever been a good kid? I'll wait. But yeah, according to this season, Jake is such a good kid. And I'm not even understanding how, of all the kids to stay at the, private prep school, he's the one who got to stay when Kevin is the one who deserved it. Hell, even Papa should have been able to transfer over to the prep school. Everybody besides Jake. But anyways, as far as Gemma, I don't see it for Gemma. Don't like her. Felt bad for her because, of everything that happened with her dad. But she did my boy Kevin wrong. And I just feel like all the things that she went in on him about how he can't make a decision and how he doesn't know what he wants to do in his life, throughout these last episodes, since she's been with Jake, that's all the stuff she's been saying about herself. She don't know if she want to go to this kind of college. She doesn't even know if college matters anymore. All this stuff. But I'm like, but you just, went off on Kevin about it. Okay, girl, move along. So, yeah, that's how I felt about those two characters. As far as Trig goes, I don't understand Trig's character. I don't. I'm trying to understand it. I don't get it. When we first met Trig, they acted like Trig was harder than Reg. Let's not act like that's not what we thought we was about to get. Next thing you know, Trig is a big softie. Trig ain't about to do nothing. Like, when I think about that scene where he went to Nook's spot, when he went to go ask about Trinity, and he had, like, all them guns pointed to him, talking about some, I don't care if I die, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, you do. Because you're a little wimp. Like, let's not act like Trig is like, he pretends to be like this big gangster when he, around the thugs. But really, he's not at all. And it's kind of annoying. Also, him being this street defender, the street fighter of the hood, or whatever we want to call it, I'm not here for it. I don't have time for him and Tracy and they Power Rangers of the ghetto little antics of how they about to save the community. I just don't see it for them. Because when you think about it, y'all, you mean to tell me y'all are receiving phone calls for all types of situations, and the only way that y'all are helping people is by going down there yourselves? You mean to tell me y'all have no volunteers who are therapists? You have no volunteers who are actually in the community and have some type of background in helping people? We found Trig and Tracy? Sell me another storyline. I'm sorry, I was not with it at all. Oh, wait. Let me not forget that they brought in, what's her name? Dre, to be a little therapist, a little counselor for Lene's people. And I'm like, yeah, but that still didn't help because old girl still wanted to make her videos and he wasn't here for it. Next thing you know, look what happened now. He done killed the girl brother and now he on the run. A mess. But anyways, also another thing about that storyline, they only wanted to help the black community, as if Chicago is not a melting pot of all races and cultures. Like, I need to know, how do white people feel in Chicago, considering y'all only show us the black side. But you know what? We're not even about to go there. Okay, so when it comes down to Tracy, baby girl was missing for most of the season. So I don't even know how to feel about her. I just think it's funny that she comes back around when her program is getting funding, but when it's not, she goes MIA. Also, her talking about she loves Duda. Girl, you just love him because he put the money in your pockets. Also, are y'all gonna start paying those volunteers? Just curious. Duda. No, let me talk about Rosalind real quick. I'm trying to figure out why at the end of the episode, Rosalind was at the mayor's office as if she was going to be the mayor. There is no way possible that the mayor is going to completely disappear and his wife is going to run the city. Not possible. There's going to be somebody else in charge. Now, when it comes to Duda, you gonna tell me that Duda, who was a hard gangster, leader of the gang, he just gonna go running scared because of Trig and a video? Duda is going to go running scared. Who are we watching, y'all? Who are we watching? Otis Perry is not going to go running scared because of Trig. He's going to make one phone call. Trig's going to be gone. Imani's going to be gone. And Jake may be held for ransom. Like, what? What are we watching here? Are we all watching the same show? Oh my gosh. So, enough of that. I don't think that's going to be the last of Duda. He may come back with a vengeance as well. Who did I talk about everybody? I wish we would have saw more of Darnell and Dom, like I said. Papa and Maisha. Where was Maisha? We didn't even see her on the last episode. As far as this season goes, I need for them to give Papa and Maisha a real storyline, because them taking a break made no sense. Her being this popular rap girl came out of nowhere. I feel like they were just throwing things against the wall, and hopefully it's stuck when it comes to their storyline, because they had nothing going on for Papa and Maisha in my eyes. Yeah, that was the season of The Chi. Overall, was it my favorite season of The Chi? Absolutely not. Do I look forward to season 5? I'm not really sure. We're just gonna have to see how that preview looks when The Chi comes back around. But yeah, that is my review. I know that it is late, but I've had a lot of technical difficulties happening on my end. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, because I review a lot of other things. I will say I appreciate everyone who has listened and watched my reviews of The Chi. And I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.